Captured more than just 4 young guys.
May I continue? There have been heroes through the ages, with greatness, faith, and power. But these 4 were unstoppable when it came to the final hour. We're getting ahead of the story. But we are getting ahead of the story. So sit back and relax. Sit back and relax. Let us introduce you to Danny. Danny in the chat. Danny in the chat. Who will you bow to, Danny? We can't wait to see. Who will you bow to, Danny? Will your faith set you free? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to, Danny? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to, Danny? As you watch the adventures of our heroes unfold, you'll see that Danny and his friends will continually face a series of choices. And these choices will change their lives.
Will they choose to compromise their beliefs and follow the rules of Babylon?
Or will they choose to follow God? Will they have faith to stand? Will they have faith to stand? Because the power of God is greater than the power of man. Will they have faith to stand? Will they have faith to stand? Because the power of God is greater. Oh, who will you bow to, Danny? We can't wait to see. Who will you bow to, Danny? Will your faith set you free? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to, Danny? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to? Who will you bow to, Danny? And now, we proudly present Danny in the Chat. Danny in the Chat. Just who will Danny and his friends bow to? In our story, some will continually face a series of choices where they must physically bow.
Others will need to choose who they will follow, serve, and worship.
You will see Danny and his friends face a series of choices in the arena, the fire, and the dead.
But we are getting ahead of ourselves. Danny and his friends arrived in Babylon, having been captured by the Babylonians. And they soon realized that life in Babylon was very, very different than life in Israel.
Well, aren't you the strongest, best captain I've ever seen? Good for you. We are so glad to have you in Babylon. This is Helga. She'll give you the tour of the royal wayroom, where you'll prepare for the Babylonian war challenge. What do you say, warriors?
Challenge? What challenge?
You'll love it. Helga will tell you all about it. but I have to finish my workout. Time for lunges. Carry on, warriors.
Babylon strong! Up!
Here in Babylon, we work our bodies to the fullest capacity. We are the best. Now, you'll be the best, but it looks like you'll need to train before you compete. Danny was intrigued by the idea of a physical fitness challenge. In his mind, he pictured himself flying through the course, catching barbells left and right as they were thrown at him. Take that and that! Although, that's not what happened. Here's what really happened. This doesn't look so tough. Let me just... Oh dear, that's very heavy. He said it. You know the drill.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Huh? We do jumping jacks anytime somebody says the word can't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get it. We have a bunch of workout words. It keeps things exciting. Just wait till someone says don't say it!
The king assigned them a daily ration of foods from his kitchen. They were to be trained for 3 years, and after that, they were to enter the king's service. Danny was determined not to defile himself by eating these foods given to him by the king. He asked for permission not to eat these unacceptable foods. Helga, I would like to respectfully ask that my friends and I not be required to eat the king's food. We have top chefs cooking for us day and night. So why in the world would you ask that? I can't help but notice Helga.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That she is still lifting weights. Yep, gotta keep that heart rate up.
She never stops working out. She's our top warrior. Babylon strong! Up!
As you know, we are Israelites.
That's the word! Israelites! Israelites! 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Please know that the God of heaven has rules for us to follow. May we simply be allowed to eat vegetables and drink water for the next 10 days?
That's a sure way to lose.
Gotta have protein. Even so, we are following the rules of the Most High God. Just give us 10 days, then see how we do. I don't know. If King Neb sees you looking weak at the competition, he's gonna punish me. Don't worry, our God will not let us down. He keeps his promises, and we depend on him. 10 days passed, and it was time for the competition. Danny and his friends had eaten only vegetables, while the Babylonians had eaten like kings. riches or the strength of Babylon. God's in control of everything, no matter how it looks. We will trust Him.
Just look around. We sing this song. The Israelites are running according to the lowest obstacle. They're not falling back. The Israelites are finishing the course. This is awesome. The Babylonians, in an unexpected twist, have been defeated. The challenge was over, and Danny and his friends were crowned the winners. They determined to give God all their glory for the victory.
I've got to say, those vegetables did not let you down. How did you do it?
It was the Most High. He made us strong.
Whatever, back to business. As Babylonians, you will need new names. From now on, you'll be Shadrach, Meshach, and you, Abednego. Back to push-ups.
Meanwhile, King Neb was very impressed that Danny and his friends had won the Babylonian Warrior Challenge.
I am very impressed with you, Israelites.
Israelites, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4,
I can't imagine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, but how you did it. You beat my finest people in the Babylonian Warrior Challenge.
Babylon strong.
You easily beat the obstacle course even without eating our chef's amazing food. Tell me your names again.
I'm Shadrach. I'm Meshach. And
I'm just going to call you the Shacks.
I like it.
Would you like to be regular competitors in the Babylonian Warrior Challenge? You have the strength that it takes.
Our strength only comes from Yahweh, the Most High God. We will live and serve here, but please allow us to honor God with what we choose to eat.
King Neb agreed, and Danny and his friends continued quietly to follow God and eat the food they knew He wanted them to. In fact, 3 years later, they were stronger and healthier than all the others who had eaten the great food of the kingdom.
They chose to have faith and follow God, even when it was unpopular. Even when it seemed the wisest choice was to eat the king's food so they could become strong.
And God blessed them as they lived in a foreign land.
It's easier said than done to stay true to who you know you are.
It's easier said than done to be in the world but not forget your call. One decision can change everything.
adjusted to their new life.
Danny and his friends continued to pray and asked God to give them wisdom to live in this new land. And above all, they continued to trust in God, that He would take care of them.
Soon, Danny was placed in a high position and sent off to oversee various parts of the land.
Meanwhile, the king appointed the sheikhs in a province in Babylon, and one day the king had a big announcement.
What a great king I am! Look at all I have accomplished. All the praise and glory go to me. Wait until you see what I have built.
A 90-foot golden
statue of our favorite person, me.
All were informed that when the beat dropped, they must fall down and worship the golden statue. Whoever would not would be thrown into a blazing furnace of fire.
The sheikhs had a big problem. They knew they couldn't bow down to anyone but God.
There's no way we're bowing to that thing, right? Of course not.
We can't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Shacksters, I know you have your own beliefs, but you do realize what needs to happen here, right? I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious if everybody's bowing to the statue and you three aren't.
Perhaps the king won't mind. Maybe he'll make an exception. He loves us.
The sheikhs thought the king might change his mind. What if he decided that no one should bow to the statue at all? They could just imagine.
To my loyal Babylonians, I was just talking to my very best friends, the Shacks, and they just reminded me that there is only one true God. So I am taking down the statue so we can all worship the one true God. Yay!
But by now, I bet you've realized that's not exactly what happens.
Here's what really happened.
If anyone does not bow down to the statue, I want to throw it into the fiery furnace immediately! You're not thinking this through, Shack Hizzles. King never respects your beliefs. I know for a fact he was impressed with your God. Your gods help you win the warrior challenge.
Many people are impressed with God, but just because a person is impressed does not mean their life has changed.
We don't want to lose you. You'll be of no use to your God after you've been toasted.
If you'll make this just one compromise, you'll be able to keep serving God for a long, long time.
It's easy to compromise. And it's easy to get caught up in worshiping other things.
But we must worship the one true God.
We won't bow. Simple as that.
I'd like to begin festivities for a gigantic, enormous worship service for the most amazing king around, me. So glad you came at the big celebration to praise my name. Let's all celebrate and have some fun, but this is mentioned, but here goes. Let's all celebrate and have some fun, but before I do anything else, please together bow.
And compromise, and your trust is by the beat. But if you don't go along, everyone will see.
Bow down to your king, to the statue sing. Bow down,
were not too happy about the way it turned out. So Helga brought up the matter with the king the following day while they were all planking. "O king, your royal muscliness, did you notice that your favorite Hebrews conveniently forgot to bow to the statue when the beat dropped?"
Those cold cats, the shacks, are you sure?
They must still be loyal to their God. After all, they are Israelites.
Israelites! Israelites! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! Ha! Ugh, the nerve. How ungrateful. After I put them in charge of the provinces here in Babylon, bring them here.
So the shacks were brought before King Ned and given one more chance.
I'll give you one more chance to fall down and worship the golden statue of me, or else I'll have no choice but to throw you into the fiery furnace. Rika, tell them about the fire.
Oh, it's so hot, King. You can toast a marshmallow in 1 second, pop popcorn in 3 seconds, and pizza in 5. Let's just say you don't want to stand anywhere near it.
Or in it. Ha ha ha, I cracked myself up.
Our God can deliver us from the fire, but even if he doesn't, he is still more powerful than all your gods.
Come on.
We will stand firm. We will not serve the statue or your gods.
Pity, I really liked you, Shax.
Those jack-o'-lanterns were thrown into the furnace hot, so hot. They were stuck without a chance to ever make it out. But to Babylon's surprise, they were untouched by the heat. Almighty God showed up and cooled their head and feet.
God is with you in the fire. He's with you in the flame. He is near when you call his name. He's with you in the fire. He's with you in the flame. He is near and he will save. When things get too hot to handle, too hot. Don't give in to your fear. The enemy's a liar. Too hot to handle, too hot. God is here. He's even Lord in the fire. 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 God is with you in the fire. He's with you in the flame. He is near when you call his name. He's with you in the fire. He's with you in the flame. He is near and he will save.
Wait, did we throw in 3 people?
Yes, King.
Oh, I see 4 people, not 5. Looks like you're having a party.
When things get too hot to handle, too hot. Don't give in to your fear. The enemy's a liar. Too hot to handle, too hot. God is here. He's even Lord in the fire. Lord in the fire. Lord in the fire. Lord in the fire. Lord in the fire.
So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were brought out of the fire.
And the fire had not burned any part of them. Once again, King Ned was very impressed that God had saved them from the fiery furnace. He said,
Praise be to the God of the shacks, who has sent his angel to rescue them. They were willing to give up their lives rather than praise or worship any of the gods but their own. Therefore, I decree if anyone says anything bad about their God, I'll have them forced to be doing 1,000 burpees and 5 million sit-ups. There is no other God like theirs.
Yeah.
King Darius was more interested in music, So he converted the weight room into a palace recording studio. He loved to jam out with other musicians, especially Danny.
In fact, he played to put Danny in charge of the entire thing. Soon, Danny would be the second most powerful musician in the kingdom. The other musicians did not like that at all.
He's a foreigner, and he's gonna rule over us? He doesn't even practice piano for 7 hours a day. He just keeps sobbing to pray to his God.
Can you imagine I'm practicing my vocalizing and warming up like every single second? Me, 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 me.
The other leaders tried to find something wrong with Danny because they were jealous that he was so respected, but they could not find anything to blame him for. So they decided to trick the king into making a law they knew Danny wouldn't follow.
Let's convince the king to make a law that all the people in the land have to pray to King Darius. It'll be for 3 days. It'll be a sign of their loyalty.
Perfect. And if they don't?
Throw them in the lion's den. The lion's den.
So they approached the king. Let me get this straight. Everyone will pray to me for 30 days?
Yep.
Not gonna lie, I love that idea.
Just in case King Darius realized it was a trap for Danny, they wrote it in a clause, making sure it would go into effect immediately and could never, ever be changed.
But Danny continued to pray to God 3 times a day, with his windows open so all could see. God, I praise you. You're the one and only true God. My life is always in your hands. Please guide me today as I seek to follow your will and serve you. Amen.
Amen.
Right away, the jealous musicians alerted the king to Danny's actions. King Darius soon realized that he had no choice but to go with his decree and send Danny to the lion's den.
Danny, I'm so sorry. I was tricked into making this decree. May your God, whom you faithfully serve, deliver you from this den of lions.
It's all right, King. My God will continue to protect me. We'll jam again, you'll see.
And so Danny was tossed into a den of lions.
You know that feeling you get?
In the pit of your soul.
When you think about a burger.
And you want to swallow it whole.
There's a sweet satisfaction, knowing all will soon be fine. You've heard the dinner bell, and it's finally supper time.
Daniel was thrown down a certain doom. Even God's stone closed it like a tomb. All seemed lost, what would Danny do? He would trust God to see him through. The lions grinned, waiting for a treat. If the tummies were happy, they'd feel such sweet relief. But to their surprise, it all went south when God sent an angel. God shut their mouths. God shut their mouths. God shut their mouths. God shut their mouths. When it seemed there was no way out, God shut their mouths.
I think they're trying to speak. I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
Perhaps I can translate and translate for you. Welcome to our home. Sorry about the mess, but it's not a bother. Oh, he definitely wants to eat you.
Thank you, but I'm just gonna go stand.
God shut their mouths. God shut their mouths. God shut their mouths. God shut their mouths. When it seemed there was no way out, God shut their mouths. Safest place was in that lion's den.
dawn, King Darius hurried to the lion's den and called out,
Oh, Danny boy, friend, have you been eaten?
No, my God has saved me from the lions. They have not hurt me.
Hot diggity dog, this calls for a saxophone celebration.
The king was overjoyed and gave orders to lift Danny out of the den immediately. Danny was lifted, and no wound was found on him because he had trusted in his God.
Danny trusted God in the lion's den. In faith, he believed the impossible. Even when you're living in Babylon, you can still be in the presence of the Almighty God. For better is one day in His presence than 1,000 spent anywhere else.
Blessed are those who dwell in your house. Oh, they are ever praising you. Blessed are those whose strength is in you. Oh, you have set their hearts on pilgrimage. They go from strength to strength. They go from strength to strength. Better is one day. Better is one day. Oh, better is one day in your courts. Better is one day. Better is one day. Oh, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Better is one day.
I would rather you adore in the house, my God, than dwell in the tents of the wicked.
For the Lord our God is sun and true, the Lord gives favor and honor.
No good thing does He withhold from those who walk blameless. Bless the man who trusts in you. Bless the man who trusts in you. Bless the man in you. I'm blessed. You're blessed. Bless the man who trusts in you. I'm blessed. You're blessed. Bless the man who trusts in you. I'm blessed. You're blessed. Bless the man who trusts in you. I'm blessed.
Better is one day. Better is one day. Oh, better is one day in your courts. Better is one day. Better is one day. Oh, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Than 1,000 elsewhere. Better is one day in your courts.
Maybe you're in your own Babylon, a difficult place, where it is hard to feel that God is with you.
Rest assured, He is near, and you can worship Him no matter where you are. He is with you in Babylon.
He is with you in the fire.
And He is with you in the den.
Look for where God is working.
No matter what happens, how disastrous it seems, God is right there in the middle of it. even in the midst of the difficult times in our lives.
God is with us. He is listening, and in faith we stand for him.
I will stand for the one true God. I will stand when no one stands with me. I will stand, for I serve the King, even when the world comes against me. I will stand.
God calls each of us to have courage and take a stand in different ways. It might be like Danny in the shacks refusing to bow to a false god. Or it might look like Danny kneeling and praying to his God, even when there's a law against it. It might even mean serving quietly in a place where those around you don't serve God, and being a trustworthy and honest worker like Danny in the shacks in Babylon.
But whatever way God calls you to stand, He will be with you and give you the strength to stand for Him.